is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Tuesday. This is Game Day Live, coming to you live from the Primetime Radio's mobile command center, somewhere in an undisclosed location in beautiful New Jersey. Actually, does it have to be undisclosed? I'm in Somerville, New Jersey right now. And then cross half of the continent to Chicago United Center. We've got Vinny Parisi streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, Twitch, and now on Instagram Live on the Let's Go Devils Network as the Devils take on the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight in TO. They call it TO. They don't call it Toronto in Toronto. They call it TO.
TO, the Six. There's lots of things you could call Toronto. You could also call them last place in the Atlantic Division. It's been a wild ride for the Toronto Maple Leafs so far this season based on, how the last 10-ish years for them have gone. But yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, we got the New York Islanders in town to play the Chicago Blackhawks tonight, so I'm on double duty again. So, you know how it is, Sam. We grind. We find a way.
We find a way, and you and I are both in our mobile command centers, our mobile studios right now, doing this podcast. And, I just came out of a dentist appointment. No cavities, by the way. Mrs. Wu is going to be very happy.
Nice.
Yeah, and she's also going to be very happy that I'm bringing back Taco Tuesday back home. It's sitting in the trunk right now.
Very nice. Yeah, that would excite me too. Already one Matthew Schaefer jersey. That's unbelievable. It's freezing here. So I hope you're a little warmer than I am right now. I turned the car off for no noise. I'm just the true dedication to this podcast is unbelievable. It's chilly. It's snowing. So I hope Taco Tuesday treats you and Mrs. Wu well. Yeah, the car's off.
Is your car off? My car is on.
I turned it off in case there's any weird noises or anything like that. I get enough light from the United Center. There's these big, huge lights on the outside of the building that show who they're playing. Sam, you got to get to a game here. Next time, it won't be a wedding you're in for. We'll get you out to a game here. But yeah, and as far as this Devils game, you got to take care of your business tonight against the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are already, having a lousy season for the most part as it is. They're not going to have Auston Matthews, who's probably going to go on to score 600-700 career goals and be a Hall of Famer. When that guy's missing from a lineup that's already struggling for offense, you have to take full advantage.
Oh, yeah. And, I thought the Devils should have taken full advantage against the Capitals last Saturday. They had their chances. They had a 3-2 lead. They squandered it. And there's been so much negativity going on, Vinny. I don't know if you watched the Morning Woo this morning. I'm going more positive with Jack Hughes. I've decided as my New Year's resolution in 2026, out with the negative and in with the positive. And I'm trying to be realistic because it really is Jack Hughes' moment to shine. Could this be his finest hour right now? That the team is at a crossroads. They got all the guys back. They had their injuries. They've had their obstacles. They had Markstrom had a slow start to the season. Jake Allen kind of, compensated for that quite a bit while Markstrom was out and him trying to find his game. But we talked about leaders on this team, talk about leadership up top. I don't care if he's wearing the C or not. I think it's Jack Hughes' time and it's Jack Hughes' team.
I mean, he scored the only goal of the game in his first game back. And then the last two games, he was dynamite. The puck just didn't go in. I mean, that happens, especially when you're coming back from an injury. Like, I thought he's looked sensational. He's been like the one bright spot, the one thing I'm not worried about going forward. If Bratt buries that chance, he has a point last game. Like, there's just a lot. There's a lot going wrong for the Devils. And when it goes right, Jack Hughes is going to be amongst the best players in the NHL. Tomorrow, he's going to be named an Olympian for the first time in his career. That's going to get the juices flowing. So Jack Hughes is just absolutely the least of my worries. The least.
Oh, wow. Well, I will tell you right now. That Jack Hughes, let's just say Jack Hughes, I think 2026 is going to be his year. I have a good feeling, and I've been negative about the Hughes brothers recently. I've been negative about it, but the one thing Jack Hughes can't be doing, his approach is not to try to put the team on his back and carry the puck in the neutral zone with no chance of getting through, and then turning over the puck and then going the other way. What Jack Hughes needs to do, he needs to be a leader in that locker room. Did you read that article that James Nichols put out, about Jack Hughes, what some of the guys were saying, that he's, during the first intermission, when Jack speaks, they listen. We need more of that. We need more of his voice in the locker room, because Nico Hischier leads by example. I think he's kind of that quiet leader, but I think Jack Hughes needs to be that vocal leader. And if you wanted to make a comparison, I would say Jonathan Toews to Nico Hischier, Patrick Kane to Jack Hughes, in that respect, where they complement each other as leaders of the team.
Absolutely. And, I absolutely believe that. And it took Kane a long time to be that vocal leader. It did eventually happen. And it took him a long time. Only in his later years, like post Joel Quenneville, is when he started wearing an A. So Jack Hughes is already ahead of him in that instance. They had Patrick Sharp and Marian Hossa and Brent Seabrook. The Devils don't have that. So that played a big role in Kane not getting an A for a long time. But, even the play styles are similar between the players that you compared. So listen, Jack Hughes is like 24 years old. What is he, 24? 23? He's a young kid still. He has a long way to go before he is even a truly elite player. I still think he's an elite player right now, but the fact that there's still more development to go is scary for the rest of the league. It's about building the rest of the team around them. It's about making sure that this defense gets better. It's about getting better goaltending. It's about fixing the bottom six. It's about adding a sniper. Right now, I'm just telling you, Sam, I'm sorry, I feel strongly about this. He is the least of my worries.
Yeah. And you know what? Moving forward, I think right now, what are your thoughts on Jacob Markstrom? Aside from a couple miscues, okay, I think his goaltending has gotten better. There's still room for improvement, but he's not taking a period and a half to find his game.
No, not at all. I think Markstrom's played better the last handful of starts. There's no doubting it. If you want to just be an angry person and deny it, that's fine. But he has played better. He has objectively played better the last handful of starts. And listen, the Devils had a 3-2 lead and they squandered it, which is true. You never like to see it, but who tied it? It was Alex Ovechkin, who's got 905 career goals. It's not and I know Ovechkin isn't the same 60 goal scoring Ovechkin that he was in 2014. I'm well aware, but he's still, even at 40 years old, got 15 goals. He's still a top 30 goal scorer in the league right now. And he's got a nose for the net. He knows what to do in those situations. He's been there, done that. Ovechkin tied the game. Okay. That's going to happen. If you play against Nashville, who's a way worse team than Washington, there's a chance if you're up 3-2 late that Steven Stamkos scores a goal. That. Those just things just happen in the National Hockey League. If that is something that you can't accept, this isn't a sport for you. Have the Devils played well in December? No, they have not. That is objectively a fact. December's been a disaster. A lot of it has been without Jack Hughes. They're starting to get healthy. The goaltenders are starting to play better. If we go another month of this in January, and January is as much of a disaster as December was, then we could talk about firing the GM or, making a big trade or something like that. But for right now, I'm sorry. It's just every team in the Eastern Conference is mid right now. except for Carolina, who's pulled away, but they have hella injuries that could pull them back too.
They just lost their goaltender, right? I think they just lost their goaltender.
Yeah. Kochekov's going to be out, and Freddie Anderson has struggled, and they're missing Slavin, and I'm pretty sure Svechnikov is out. So, and then, like, who else is in the race? You go to the Atlantic, of course, Florida. If they get Matthew Tkachuk back after the new year, and then Barkov is ready for playoffs, nobody would want to play them no matter what seed. They're one of those teams, hey, we just got to get in. We don't care if we're the 8th seed. Yeah. We don't care if we're the 1 seed. We just got to get in. So Florida to the side. Anyone scared of Ottawa long term? How about Montreal? Are they definitively better than the Devils? Even no matter, disregard the standings from December when Jack Hughes was out and the team struggled. Who else is Tampa Bay? That's one. If you say, yep, Tampa Bay, I'll give you Tampa Bay. But they started off slow. They're a Victor Hedman injury away or a Nikita Kucherov injury away from going through a similar slump as the Devils. Every team in the Eastern Conference is within 4 points of a playoff spot. Every team in the Eastern Conference is over 500 by 2 games. I'm about to see a team tonight, the New York Islanders. Who the hell saw that coming? And they've had their ebbs and flows this season. The Eastern Conference is nuts. Then you go over to the West. Well, why is the Eastern Conference so good? Well, you look at the West. They have the 3 best teams in the NHL points-wise. Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota. And then I think anybody with a brain would throw Edmonton in the mix and Vegas because of their pedigree and where they've been and kind of how they played lately in a positive way. The rest of the conference is crap. I think 5 of the bottom 7 teams in the NHL are in the Central Division. The Eastern Conference has just fed on the West, and it's made it a really tight conference. And the Devils are right in the mix. They're not out of it. They're getting healthy. I like them long-term with their superstars leading the way, as long as they can start getting some saves. And honestly, fix it between the ears. Be a nasty team. You can be it. You were 13-4. You were 13-4. At one point. Meyer has scored 40 in his career. He's tied for the team lead right now. Go be that a-hole on the ice. Score goals. You've been a Selke number. You came in second in the Selke trophy, and if it wasn't for a guy who's won it 6 times in Bergeron, he would have won it that year. Jack Hughes, he's a 100-point player when he's healthy for a full season. Jesper Bratt, you could score goals, Bratt. You don't need Jack. It's nice to have Jack. I'm not wishing not to have Jack, but that's a really nice top 4 forward group. Mercer, get back to being that dog that you were in November and October. Where's Nason? Depth scoring from guys like him. When Cotter scores, every goal Cotter scores is beautiful. I'm like, why can't he just do that more often? They have guys who can play. Gritsuk, all the skill in the world. It's going to take a little longer for him to get truly going because he's a rookie. And, but he's a really good, middle 6 forward that I like. There's pieces on this team. And, Luke Hughes, too, another one on defense. He's been pretty bad defensively this season. He's getting his points. Yeah. Nobody ever questioned that Luke Hughes was supremely talented offensively, though. He'll round into form. He's still young, too. What is he? Is he even 21? People giving up on Luke Hughes so quickly baffles me, too, because it's not like most defensemen in the league don't take a couple years to get that side of their game. If there was a side of a player's game that I'd rather them struggle with early on defense, it would be the defensive side, because Luke Hughes has skills that you can't teach. But to be better defensively, I believe that can be taught, that can be learned, that can be developed. Good coaching. There is a recipe on this team for success. And I know I'm rambling now, but there's a recipe for success with this team. They just have to go out there and do it. Come on now.
Yeah. Hey, I like it when you ramble, because we've heard so much negativity recently that it's refreshing. Like, I started to think about it, because I'll admit I've been the one that's been negative about everything, but I've also been very realistic about trying to dissect what's really going on. But you know what? Winning solves everything. And at the end of the day, it's the guys in the room that, not the coaches, not the GM, whatever. It's the guys in the room that decide, okay, we're going to do it this way. This is the right way. You got it. I don't care what system it is, Vinny, as long as everybody believes in the system and is participating and contributing and playing their role within that system, I'm all for it. and it's just a matter of discipline right now. And I think the guys are, the Devils players are feeling the kind of the pressure at times. Especially Markey trying to find his game, but I think he's starting to get to that point where that's kind of behind him. Let's see what he does tonight. I believe he's starting tonight. Also, defensively, you got Brett Pesce back. He's a blocking shot machine. Also, he brings leadership, some beef back there. Leaves Brendan Dillon. Brendan Dillon's been working overtime this entire season just with the amount of injury the defense has had. Then Shimon Nemec, and Kovacevic. Look, there's the cap issues. I'm sure Tom Fitzgerald's going to figure it out. I don't know how. I'm very interested to see what will happen in the next few weeks because eventually they're going to have to come back. They can't just stay on medical leave forever. So, but, for now, you've got the Toronto Maple Leafs, which you need to take advantage tonight. But most importantly, you got to settle some scores tomorrow against the BJs, the Columbus Blue Jackets, because I was at that game and I was sitting in section 15. Not only was I annoyed from that $9 million lady, but I was really ticked off that how chippy the game was and some of these players and what happened to Siegenthaler or getting the game misconduct, and just the Columbus Blue Jackets, again, I'm not saying they cheated. I wouldn't say they're cheap shots, but they're a little sneaky buggers, if you know what I mean. They were a little bit sneaky. I think it caught the Devils off guard. And by the time they wanted to respond, they didn't even realize they were in a fight. And then when they wanted to respond, it's like, okay, the damage has been done. So I would expect a different Devils team going into Columbus tomorrow. But for tonight, the Maple Leafs, with Marner being gone and just and some of the injuries that they've had, the Devils have to take advantage tonight. Otherwise, it's going to set them back confidence-wise going in tomorrow.
Yeah, 100%. Now, on the flip side, if you get a win tonight against an Austin Matthews-less Maple Leafs team that's already struggling, and I suggest scoring early, put them out of their misery quickly, and then you win tomorrow, you're in a playoff spot. That's how quickly the vibes can turn around. What is their season high win streak? 8? They won 8 in a row earlier in the year. Let's cut that in half. Get it to 4. Win 4 in a row, and you'll be right back in the thick of things, feeling good about your game. No one's going to win every game. You're not going to win every game. Ovechkin's going to, tie it late, and then you lose in overtime every now and again. But it's the timing of that game that made it seem worse than it is. Go change it. Go fix it right now. That's all I'll say.
So let's get everybody's predictions. It's that time. It's that time of the podcast right now. Let's get your predictions in the YouTube live. I'm looking at Instagram as well. Let's see here. I see Michael Hay in the Instagram live. I see everybody, all our good friends in the YouTube live right now. But Vinny, what's your prediction for tonight?
I'm going to go New Jersey Devils 5, Toronto Maple Leafs 2.
I think that's a good score.
Just have a statement win. Just a statement win.
I'm trying to read the computer. I'm getting new reading glasses soon. I can't even read what's on the computer anymore. So
you want me to read?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind reading some of the scores. I see Tom commenting something about Mrs. Wu, but I can't even read it right now.
Joey said I talked for 8 minutes straight. That's hilarious. That's really, it probably was about 8 minutes. Bill says Devils 9-1. Is that you secretly? Michael Hay says Devils win 4-3 in overtime. Nico gets the winner. Joey is concerned about me not wearing a hat. I honestly, I had no clue it was going to snow or anything like that. Like, I was a little caught off guard with that. I wasn't paying attention. I got a lot going on. Selecta says 4-3 Devils. Zach says 3-1 Devils. Ted says 5-2 Devils. Survey says 3-2 Toronto. Oh, I hope the Devils prove me wrong. Me too. Michael Descala says 5-1 Devils. Elisa says 7-4 Devils. Joey responds Toronto 3, Devils 2. Joey, love you. Hope you're wrong.
Well, here's my
score. And
score.
Steve Engel says I talk too much. Nope. But I mean, it's a podcast.
Last time I talked too much. I kept on rambling.
We ebb and flow.
I ramble all the time.
This is a podcast. It's not, watching the painting. This is a podcast. We talk.
I know.
But I think they were joking.
You know what's really funny, Vinny? I still can't get over that you and I are both in our cars right now doing this podcast in two different cities. It's amazing technology. It's amazing technology.
Amazing. And the things we do for hockey,
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. And then someone's asking me if I'm packing heat in this car, like real heat.
Like why?
I don't know. What, I got weapons in there or something? Yeah, I'm coming in heavy. Anyway.
You're flying the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah. I'm thinking, wow, you said 5-2. That's what I was going to say. I'll say it.
Say it with me.
No, I think you're giving Toronto too much. 7-2 Devils. 7.
All right.
And a Dougie Hamilton goal. And a Dougie Hamilton and Palat goal. I'll add a little twist to it. Yeah, it would
Love
be.
it.
It would be.
That would be so cool. If you wear the red and black, I love you till you no longer do.
Actually, I saw on Facebook Marketplace, for real, somebody's selling an authentic autographed Dougie Hamilton jersey for $100. For real.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I'm like, has it gotten that bad with Dougie Hamilton? I don't know.
I mean,
but
he wasn't even considered for the Olympics. He was never even brought up. That ship has sailed so bad.
Well, the other thing too, Vinny, we also got Game Day Live. Game Day Live. Devils After Dark after the game. Sorry, I'm just getting distracted here. With me and Scotty, Sirius XM Liquid Metal, and also the Woo Bus 1 trip. Devils versus Islanders out on Long Island. Sign up. Email me at sam@letsgodevils.com, and I'll go to give you Danielle's website, empireteamtravel.org. Again, empireteamtravel.org. Sign up. The bus is getting full. Last call. Let's get everybody signed up. People have been asking, when do I get my money in? How about now? So we can start planning this trip. And right now I'm testing the mobile command center so we could do this on a moving bus. I won't be driving, obviously, but that's going to be pretty cool.
Absolutely. Very good, Sam.
Yeah.
I hope it's going to work out. You're going to see the Islanders, who I'm seeing tonight. So that's very fitting.
Oh, and congratulations being part of the Professional Hockey Writers Association, Vinny. Job well done.
Thank you.
Seeing your name there with everybody else, I'm like, I know that guy. I know him very well. Now I want your autograph. Anyway,
I'll give you my autograph.
I'm hitting the music right now.
Very proud, very proud. Thank you, Sam. You helped me get there in a lot of ways.
But thank you. Well, enjoy the game, everybody. Devils Maple Leafs, Devils After Dark after the game. I'll see you later. Till next time, Let's go Devils.